Hey everyone, Stacks here. Welcome to the channel, and today I'm checking out Silver Surfer Black number 4 by Donny and Tradd Moore. Now, consistently as I've done these Silver Surfer Black videos, the conversation has drifted towards Tradd Moore's art. So I'm going to get that discussion out of the way first. Basically, Tradd Moore's art's kind of like yoga pants. It isn't for everybody. I know myself, I wasn't really fired up about it in Silver Surfer Black number 1, but since then it's really grown on me. My buddy over at Ash on Comics, which you should go check out his channel. I'll leave the link down in the description below. He kind of felt the same way. It's a callback to this psychedelic art that you almost just want to throw a black light on and see what happens. Anyways, I knew the conversation would eventually go there, so I just went ahead and got it out of the way. Now back to the storyline. The storyline, if you're not caught up, you can go check out my other videos, but what you need to know is that the Silver Surfer, in a confrontation with Knull, basically expended himself to the point where he's damaged. Whether that has something to do with him having been infected by Knull, or if that has something to do with him expending too much energy, we're not really sure of yet. I believe it's because he expended too much energy. But anyways, after winning this battle with Knull, he's so exhausted, he's so injured, he's so tired, he's just floating in space. And that's when, of course, Ego brings him in, helps heal him. It just so happens while he's there with Ego, something happens to him. Something implants itself deep into the core of Ego, and Silver Surfer has to go in and try to remove it. What he finds is that it's the incubator known as Lifebringer 1 that brought Galactus to this universe after the collapse and destruction of his own. And that's where Silver Surfer Black number 4 starts, with the Silver Surfer dragging out this incubator, pulling it out of the core of Ego in order to save him. And as he removes it, he says he can feel it growing, the darkness looming as he carries his maker on his back. And while he's doing this, he's actually considering that maybe he's been given a chance, one more chance to end everything before it all began. Once it's removed, Ego thanks him and he says, "I owe you," and Norrid replies back, "I owe more." And Ego validates that, hey, I gave you my word that I would help you in the fight against the Black King. Just know that if you reach out to me, I will be by your side. As he takes his leave, Ego stops him and says, "Hey, wait a minute, isn't that your maker and machine? Isn't that Galactus?" And Norrid confirms, yes, it is. And Ego asks, well, what do you plan to do with him? And the Silver Surfer replies very nonchalantly, "I'm going to kill him." And he's about to do it. He's standing in front of this sun, knowing that one slight push, one little push from the Silver Surfer could take this incubator and push it into the sun, destroying Galactus forever. And in doing so, he would save trillions and trillions of lives of those that would be consumed as Galactus wandered the universe and the galaxy, consuming those trying to sustain himself, trying to satisfy his hunger. And as he sits there on the cusp of doing it, the most influential man in the Marvel galaxy shows up to stop him, and it's the Watcher. Well, Norrid turns to him and asks him, "What are you doing here?" And the Watcher responds, "Observing. Stopping you." And the Surfer's confused. He's like, "Hold up, stop me? You're a Watcher. You're bound not to interfere." And the Watcher actually tells him, "Hey, look, the Watchers have decreed that Galactus shall live. There must always be a balance, the light, the dark. Your presence here is the interference, not mine." And Norrid is still struggling with it, saying, "This is madness. He will kill billions. It has to end." And that's when the Watcher explains to him that there are many lives, and in all of these, there are different branches of reality, different possible universes. He talks about one where he and his wife grow old and have children. There's one where he dies at the hands of Thanos wielding Mjolnir, and that there's another one where in it he kills an infant Galactus in his incubator. But the big takeaway that the Watcher tells him is like, look, that no matter what you do here, your hands will be no less bloody. The only thing that will change is that you will have to live with what you have done this day. At that moment, realizing that the Watcher's probably right, Norrid kind of shifts the conversation towards Knull, and that he doesn't know how to survive this. He doesn't know how to defeat Knull. And that's when the Watcher actually makes the suggestion is that you're facing a great darkness. Why don't you ask someone who's not only faced something like this, but survived it before? And that's when Norrid realizes Galen. He can talk to Galactus. So the Silver Surfer reaches out with his mind. He reaches out and he actually experiences the last moments of existence that Galactus, that Galen experienced. And even for one who's seen, trillions of individuals destroyed by Galactus, this is too much even for him. He can't stand it. And in that moment, suddenly Galactus is there. And Galactus is, he doesn't know who the Silver Surfer is at this point. He's not had a herald before that we know of. Instead, he's just some traveler. And basically he tries to keep him out of his mind up until tries to scare him off, but Galactus isn't in a form to where he can really defend himself. So finally the Silver Surfer ends up standing right before the man, a man in a suit. And the Surfer demands, "Show me who you are. No, show me your real face." And Galactus takes off his helmet and says, "Why do you attack me, traveler? Who are you?" And the Surfer stands before him and tells him, "I mean to kill you for the things you will do and the things you will become, so that I may heal myself and stop another horror." And Galen looks down, somber, and asks, "Hey, these things that I will do, should I know my crimes before I'm executed for them? What do I become?" And Silver Surfer replies, "Death. You become a destroyer of worlds. You feast upon them in the name of some unseen scale you claim to balance." Galen, quickly observing the situation, says, "I see. If I may, is that not also your excuse?" And Silver Surfer's taken back a little bit, but Galen continues. He says, "You hope to snuff out my life in order to prevent some sort of other, what did you call it, horror? You would kill light to beat the dark. Are you not also balancing the fates with death?" He talks a little bit more about what he's becoming and how he's growing out of his current form. But then he looks Norrid Radd in the eye and he tells him, "I know but one thing of the nature of the universal balance. You cannot defeat the dark with darkness." And with that, Silver Surfer's eyes light up and he says, No, you cannot. I am not Mind Maker. I am not death." And he pulls back the incubator and he tosses it on course with the orbit for the planet that he would first consume. And he realizes at that moment that he's back, he's damned, he's dying, but he's not without hope. And he has hope because within the mind of Galactus, he learned what he must do, and he returns to Ego. And as he arrives, he quickly tells Ego, "Look, I don't have time to explain. Read my mind, Ego, and I will show you." And Ego's taken back a little bit. He says, "Norrid, is this, are you sure?" And Norrid confirms, yes, it is the only way to win. And Ego tells him it's within his powers to connect Silver Surfer to everything. And that's what he does. He reaches out to basically all of the universe, and he can feel that everyone is in fear. They're afraid of what's coming with Knull. And he asks Ego to tell them what he needs from them, that he needs them to seed their life into the abyss, to choke it with their light, and focus all that energy, to focus it on the Silver Surfer. And with Ego channeling that energy, he absorbs it and tells him, "I will no longer curse the darkness, Ego. I will burn." And the book ends with the silhouette of Knull's dragon, the Grendel, right over the Silver Surfer, looking to finally finish this battle between the two. So overall, a good book. It feels like this really is stretched out to 5 issues. This felt very similar to the Kill Baby Thanos storyline from the Cosmic Ghost Rider, where Cosmic Ghost Rider traveled back and was going to kill Baby Thanos basically in his crib to prevent all the atrocities he would eventually commit. And I don't mean the entire storyline felt like that. It just felt like it's had the same elements of going back in time and killing a major historical figure who did bad things in order to prevent all the bad things that happened. I'm also really getting tired of the Watcher being the most influential guy in the Marvel Galaxy. He just keeps showing up in the Marvel Universe and changing things. He seriously stopped, like about a month ago, he stopped the Punisher, Frank Castle, from saving his family because that had become a linchpin in the universe or something. All being said, I really do enjoy the concept here, the theme here of good versus evil, of light versus dark, of you can't use these dark tactics in order to achieve your purpose on light, because in doing so you just become the dark. It's a very interesting theme. It's very much a theme that affects a lot of us today, in that in the world we live in, with everybody throwing mud, everybody on Twitter or in the news and everything. And I'm not trying to get too political here, but both sides of every debate are basically getting down in the trenches and just slugging it out. And like Silver Surfer here, some people need to stop and look at themselves and realize, how far are you willing to go? What are you willing to become to win this fight? And in the end, is that worth it? Are you becoming what it is that you're fighting against? Can we stop focusing on the negative, and can we start being more positive? Can we shine that light rather than just spreading the darkness? I'm not trying to dive into politics or anything. I just wish that the world as a whole could be a lot more positive right now than it is negative. Hey everyone, about 85% of the individuals that watch this channel aren't subscribed. So if you aren't subscribed, I ask that, and you enjoyed the content, I ask that you take a minute, hit that subscribe button, and of course everybody leave a like and comment below. What did you guys think about the storyline? And are you ready for Silver Surfer Black number 5? Are you still on board with Tradd Moore and Donny Cates on this ride? All that being said, guys, thanks for taking the time to watch, and hope you enjoyed it. That's all I got, guys. Real Comic Stacks. Out.